What's up everybody? Rob here from Studio Warrior. Today's video I want to talk about the MGK and Eminem beef that's going on. I'm sure some of you are sick of hearing about it, but honestly I'm not at all. I'm stoked, I'm excited, because for once I'm entertained. For once there's some good music out there. Like, all the mumble rap and all the bullshit is in the background. No one cares right now. And the fact that all this mess is over a battle, which most of you who have followed hip-hop for long enough know that battle rap is all about lyricism and punchlines and metaphors and cleverness, you know what I mean, and the way that you structure your flow. So those are all things that have been lost in today's music. You don't hear them anymore. Basically, rap has taken one of 10,000 rap patterns. They picked one and they do it on every song, every line, every verse, every album, constantly. It's annoying. It's boring. It's like playing one chord on the guitar for every single song, for every album. It drives me crazy. I can't stand it. But anyways, so right now the whole world is watching two incredible lyricists. Let me put that out there right away. I think MGK is a dope-ass rapper. He's great at what he does. And obviously I love Eminem. I grew up on Eminem. He is and always will be the greatest rapper to me. The difference is, and here's where it gets interesting, is I was never a huge fan of MGK. I acknowledged his talent, but I really didn't get into his music. I like the speed flow and stuff, but the thing was I'm a fast rapper myself, and I kind of watched him blow up and get big, and I kind of envied that, because I felt like that could have been me had I had my shit together back in the day. Had I not chose drugs and partying and being irresponsible and lazy, I could have been there, and I feel like I could have went places that even he may not go. But that's in the past. It is what it is. Point blank, I respect the dude. He's mad talented. Eminem, greatest of all time, most people will say. So right now you have two amazing rappers at the forefront, and everyone's watching them. And since they're battle rapping, everyone is paying attention to lyricism again, paying attention to structure again, paying attention to substance again. And that's awesome, because this is what we need, to get back to where we were. Because I know music evolves, the further back you travel, with the exception of classical music, music gets simpler. It's more basic, rock and roll was, 4/4, 3 or 4 chords. Not always, but for the most part, in commercial, in the mainstream, it's always been, it's simple, and it gets more complex as time goes by, for the most part. And even especially with metal, man, metal is it's like classical music. It's insane, and some people can't even comprehend it because there's so much going on. But hip-hop has went backwards, completely fucking backwards. Some of it's catchy, because every once in a while, no matter what you do, no matter how you rap or write, you're eventually going to write something that's kind of catchy, even if it sucks. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit more about this beef. So regardless of what my opinion is, or what your opinion is, or somebody else's opinion is, that's exactly what it is. It's opinions. No matter what, it's all subjective. It doesn't matter. Some people like one type of flow, some people like the other. However, there's always been this unspoken rule, or unspoken judgment calls, I guess, on battle rap, and that is your personal attacks, like basically what you're saying about the person, what you're turning into a joke about them, attacking their character, and how well thought out those are and how accurate they are. That's one. Number two, your flow or your delivery, your energy, how you present yourself. If you notice, a lot of freestyle battle rapping has somewhat of a talking feel to it, and I've never really been a fan of that. But if you can shine in the other category, like your rhymes and your patterns and your structure, then it doesn't really matter. So either way, you have The first thing, like I said, which is personal attacks and jokes. Number 2 is flow and delivery. And number 3 is structure, rhyme patterns, intricacy, complexity of your flow. You know, how many words you're rhyming, how many syllables and everything like that. And a lot of people will say that that doesn't matter, but I'll tell you what, you listen to a diss or a battle rap of somebody who is amazing in all 3 categories, it's going to sound way better than someone who's better in one. Whether it's an opinion or subjective or not, no matter who you are, you know, it's going to sound more appealing when they're touching, you know, base on everything, you know. So the diss, the actual diss, I'll tell you what, I heard someone say on a video, I watched a video a little bit ago, I can't remember who it was talking, but they said MGK lost just for the simple fact that he threw out some old man jokes and also called Eminem the greatest on the same song that he dissed him. Now, I agree 100% that both of those things were the only things that I found whack about MGK's diss. Completely whack. You can't diss somebody for being alive longer than you. Like, you're going to be old too. In 20 years, you're going to be that same age. You are on the same road age as that person is on. You know, it's like making fun of somebody for eating the same food that you eat. Making somebody for having 2 arms and you got 2 arms too. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's too easy. I'm not saying it's not funny. It is funny. Eminem did a diss, the Nail in the Coffin Benzino diss, where, you know, I would never claim to be no 83-year-old fake Pacino. That's an old diss. But notice the cleverness in the syllables and the rhyme structure and stuff. Like, you know, it made it better. You can't just be like, your beard is weird, you know, you're old. Like, it's not that funny. You know, it really isn't. But on top of that, set all that aside, man, he said some good stuff. Like, let's be real, he said some really deep shit. That was the first MGK song that made me, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, what? He just said that? And the fact he responded, period, he won right there. I'm not saying he won overall, but no matter what happens, let's say Eminem comes back and fucking murks him, just murders his whole fucking life, MGK still wins in a way, and will still walk away, you know, less of a loser than somebody who would have not responded, or someone who responded with something super weak. Like, no matter what happens, MGK definitely held his own, and above that, you know what I mean? Like I said, I wasn't a big fan of him for personal reasons, but also because I really nothing grabbed me from his music, you know? That grabbed me, you know what I'm saying? That just totally got my attention. I listened to that song more than any other MGK song I've ever heard. With that being said, Eminem, he didn't write a diss song about MGK. He had a few lines, you know what I'm saying? That's not a diss song. Of course, a whole entire song, we're not just talking 2 verses, we're talking 3 verses. That's going to be better no matter what, even if the person isn't that great, you know, because you have the opportunity to say so much more about that person and call them out for so many more things. So as long as when Eminem comes back, he's not trying to knock out fucking 15, 20, 25 people at once, because that's cool and all, but I don't think it'd be as good as if he just focuses on MGK. If he focuses on one person and spends even just 2 verses on it, it's going to be nasty. It's going to have way more structure, way more complexity to it. But is he going to rip him apart? Is he going to rip MGK's character apart the way MGK ripped his character apart? I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say anymore, because one thing I haven't mentioned yet is I have been super, super disappointed in Eminem for the last 10 years, maybe even longer. I literally, like, Eminem Show was it for me. Every album after that, I've liked maybe 2, at tops 4 songs per album. That's it. As soon as he stopped using his ability to show off his lyricism and complexity and started yelling at me all the time, You know, I'm not afraid. Like that's like it was annoying. It really was. I didn't like anything he was doing. Splitting words in half at awkward times, rhyming on different spots. It was almost like he was trying to change the way people rap rather than just being really good at it. You know, it's like somebody who's good at doing skateboard tricks, and instead of just doing a bunch of really badass skateboard tricks, they try to invent new tricks that aren't tricks at all. You know, fucking setting a fucking beer on it and pushing it down the road. Like, yeah, cool. Like, it's different, but it's not that cool. I don't know where that came from, but that's the only thing I could think of. So, I don't know, it got boring for me. He's yelling at the mic. His metaphors almost got too complicated. You'd have to sit there and write it out and realize that it was a punchline, but inside that punchline was another punchline that connected to the line before it that actually had a word that meant one thing and another thing. So it was 7 punchlines in one, and it was just too much. Like, you lose the fun. Like, at a certain point, we stop hearing the words and we want to hear a flow and a good rhythm and something that keeps our head bobbing and stuff, you know, and key words occasionally that we can relate to. And that's hard to do when somebody's that complex about things. So, however, with that being said, so 10 plus years of shitty fucking Eminem albums, shitty ass fucking verses. His choruses were usually decent. Beats were almost always good, but even the beats were different. I didn't really dig the beats. Relapse was probably my favorite out of most of them because it was closer to his older shit. Encore was terrible. Recovery wasn't even that good. It was commercial, sure, but you know, I didn't like his structure. What else was there? Marshall Mathers LP Part 2 was terrible, horrible. And for him to call it that, you know what I mean? And then Revival, probably his worst album ever. And here's what's great. His worst album ever, and then he comes back with a surprise album. Doesn't tell anybody about it. I wake up to take a piss and I'm scrolling through Facebook. Eminem drops a surprise album. And let me tell you what that felt like, because for the whole last 10 years, even hating all the shit Eminem puts out, I go online and I search Eminem, new songs, Eminem, new songs. If I see a new album, I listen to it front to back, hoping one day he's going to come back. Because for me, it's hard to believe that he just died inside in it and he's just gone and he's just not incredible anymore. So for me to see surprise album and 10 years later, 4 shitty albums later, I'm still excited to check it out. That takes a pretty good, talented ass person to keep me, you know, intrigued to want to keep checking it out, and to still have hope after this long. So anyways, I played it and immediately was like, yes. First line, second line, third line, fourth line, good. Whole song's good. Second song, good. Third song, good. Fourth song, good. Like, holy shit. Like, this is a great fucking album. And he's talking shit about everybody that deserves to have shit talked about them. I mean, with the exception of MGK. I mean, I don't really care so much about that beef, but like the mumble rapper shit, like that shit's hilarious. So I loved it. I thought it was great. And nobody knew anything about MGK coming back with a diss. I was in a zone of like bumping this fucking Eminem album and loving it. You know what I mean? Taking me back to my roots basically, and inspiring me and motivating me, making me want to make some new rap music. And I'm in the middle of I'm going super hard right now on a metal album, so you know it would take a lot for me to think about making some new rap music, and that did it. But then to see the MGK disc come out, it's like, skirt, hang on, I know you're in love with the new M album, but listen. And you know, I put the album aside and kept listening. That's good. That's awesome. Like, kudos to MGK for that. You know what I mean? And just the fact he responded, man. How many rappers have we seen on live TV or recorded TV, whatever, on video? Famous multi-millionaire rappers say, I will never diss Eminem. Never, ever, because I don't want to get murdered lyrically. And MGK, fucking 6'4", 140-pound, skinny-ass white dude, probably beat my ass, but whatever, takes on Eminem. Damn, dude, that's raw. Like, that's awesome. Like, I have a lot more respect for MGK. And no offense to people that are 6'4", 140 pounds, whatever. I'm just, been a fan of Eminem for a long time. I'm going to stick up for my favorite rapper, just like MGK fans are going to stick up for him. But anyway, so now we're all waiting on the response. It'll happen. Hopefully it's directed at him, the whole thing, the whole song, instead of like 30 different people. And I'm pretty confident that it's going to be hard. He's going to come back hard, and it's going to be good, and it's going to be better than MGK's. But I'm not going to lie, part of me is a little skeptical. 4 shitty albums. You know what I'm saying? 10 years of horrible music. Does he still have it? Is that switch still in there? Is it going to click and he's just going to just take him down? I hope so. Either way, no matter what happens at the end of the day, this is fucking awesome for hip-hop. Everybody's watching. Everyone's paying attention. All these bullshit ass, don't even try in the studio rappers, nobody gives a shit about right now. And I hope this shifts rap in the way that it needs to be shifted, because I'm getting real fucking bored, real pissed off. So I guess that's it. I just wanted to give my opinion on the whole thing. I'm old myself. I'm 34 years old. I don't have a whole lot of time left before people probably start telling me I'm too old to make music. But those same people are going to have the same thing said about them in 10 years. You can't crack a joke on somebody that someone else is going to be able to crack on you in a couple of years. You can't do that. You make fun of people for things that you're better at, that you don't have to deal with. If you make fun of someone for being fat, it's because you're not fat. And you're never going to be fat. You can't make fun of somebody for being old, because you're going to be fucking old someday. It's stupid. And that's besides MGK, whatever. I'm just saying in general. This whole fucking, because that's all these mumble rappers ever say. Oh man, get these old beats out of here. Oh, spinning on your head on cardboard, old ass beats. Like, these old ass dudes were real ass gangsters, and they will beat your fucking ass, dude. Like, that's the thing these guys don't understand. Like, all these new mumble rappers walking around with, you know, $25,000 of chains. Like, these old school gangster rappers will snatch your chains, spit in your face, and steal your bitch and blow you a kiss as they're walking away, and you won't do shit about it, because that's real gangster shit. That's how they are. You know what I mean? A lot of them have grown up. They're old now. So they're not about that. They're smarter, they're wiser. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to do things that are going to fuck up their money. They're not out there doing drugs and drinking syrup and popping pills and everything else, and, you know, potentially fucking ruining their lives and ruining everything they have, like a lot of these other rappers are doing. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like, being old doesn't suck. Being old's awesome. When I was in my 20s, you know, I was sleeping with random chicks, not wearing protection. I could have had kids. I could have got STDs. I could have fucking got hurt. Like, I've been jumped. I've been assaulted. I was on drugs. You know, I've pretty much overdosed on drugs. Like, everything. Like, I made horrible choices. Being young sucks, because you don't know any better yet. I didn't save my money. I didn't pay my bills on time. I fucked my credit up. Being young sucked. Sure, I had freedom. I was faster. I was wittier, whatever. But I got more shit now than I ever had in my 20s. And in 10 years from now, I'm going to have even more shit. And my shit will be in check. My shit will be in check for the rest of my life. And I will just keep on progressing and succeeding more and more as I get older. Because being old doesn't suck. Being young and cracking old jokes sucks, though. I wouldn't want to be young and that's all I could think of, you know what I mean? So anyways, can't wait to see what happens next. I know everybody else out there is waiting. I'm waiting too. But that's all for now. I'll see you guys till next time. Peace.